Hey football fans, welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down all 10 matches of Premier League Matchweek 26 and I'm giving you my predictions for every single game. We've had a crazy Matchweek 25, Arsenal extending their lead, Man United picking up form, Chelsea scoring goals and a few surprises along the way. So I'm excited to see how this next week plays out. If you love Premier League predictions, smash that like button, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss content like this. Tottenham versus Newcastle could be one of the most exciting and unpredictable matches of Matchweek 26. Tottenham come into this game after a disappointing 2-0 loss to Manchester United, showing some weaknesses in defence and a lack of sharpness up front. At home, they will look to regain confidence, dominate possession, and create chances through their wide players. However, their recent loss highlights ongoing defensive concerns and inconsistency, which Newcastle could exploit. Newcastle, meanwhile, are also coming off a narrow 3-2 defeat to Brentford, a high-scoring game that exposed defensive vulnerabilities. Despite the loss, their attack remains dangerous, and their forwards are capable of punishing any mistakes from Tottenham. Newcastle will aim to bounce back, stay compact, and exploit counter-attacking opportunities, especially against Tottenham's shaky defence. Tactically, Tottenham will try to control the game and dictate tempo using possession and quick combinations through midfield. Newcastle will likely absorb pressure, hit quickly on the break, and capitalise on Tottenham's mistakes. This match promises to be open, intense, and potentially high-scoring, with both teams desperate for a win to recover from recent defeats. I'm predicting a 3-2 win for Tottenham. Next up, we have Chelsea versus Leeds United. Chelsea are coming off a convincing 3-1 win against Wolves, which showed their attacking quality is firing again. Their forwards looked sharp, midfield control was strong, and the defense was more organised than in recent weeks. At home, Chelsea will aim to control possession, move the ball through midfield, and create chances for their attacking stars. Leeds United, meanwhile, are also coming off a 3-1 victory over Nottingham Forest, showing they can score freely while maintaining a solid attacking rhythm. Leeds play fast, high-energy football and are dangerous on the break. Their forwards are clinical and they are capable of punishing defensive mistakes, even against strong teams like Chelsea. Tactically, Chelsea will try to dictate the tempo, control the midfield, and break Leeds down with patient build-up play. Leeds, on the other hand, will look to press aggressively, hit quickly on the counter, and exploit any gaps in Chelsea's defence. With both teams in good form, this promises to be an open and entertaining match with chances at both ends. So I'm expecting an entertaining 2-2 draw. Everton versus Bournemouth. Everton come into this match after a 2-1 win over Fulham, a performance that gave them a much-needed confidence boost. They looked solid at the back, and their attack was sharp enough to convert chances. At home, Everton will aim to dominate possession, control the midfield, and create opportunities through their wingers and central playmakers. Their recent win should give them belief that they can impose themselves on Bournemouth. Bournemouth, on the other hand, are coming off a 1-1 draw with Aston Villa, showing they remain competitive but are not invincible. They play quick, direct football and are dangerous on the break, but their ability to consistently finish chances has been slightly inconsistent. Bournemouth will look to remain solid defensively while exploiting Everton's defensive gaps when possible. Tactically, Everton will likely dictate the tempo and try to control the game from the midfield, while Bournemouth will focus on absorbing pressure and counter-attacking when they can. Expect a tight, competitive match with chances for both sides. I'm predicting a 2-1 win for Bournemouth. West Ham versus Manchester United could be one of the most exciting matches of Matchweek 26. West Ham come into this match after a convincing 2-0 win against Burnley, showing defensive solidity and sharpness in attack. At home, they will look to dominate possession in key areas, create chances through their wingers and midfield, and capitalise on any mistakes by Manchester United. This recent win gives them confidence and momentum, making them a very tough side to beat at London Stadium. Manchester United, meanwhile, are coming off a 2-0 win over Tottenham, demonstrating their ability to control games and finish chances efficiently. Their midfield has been strong in linking attack and defence, and their forwards continue to pose a serious goal threat. United will look to impose their quality, control the tempo, and break down West Ham's defensive lines. Tactically, West Ham will aim to press intelligently, control key moments, and exploit space on the counter, while Manchester United will focus on dominating possession, creating overloads in midfield, and hitting with clinical finishing. Both teams are confident, which could make this a tight, high-intensity, and potentially goal-filled match, so I'm calling this a 2-2 draw. Next up, we have Nottingham Forest versus Wolves. Nottingham Forest come into this game after a 3-1 loss to Leeds, showing defensive vulnerabilities and a lack of sharpness in attack. At home, they will aim to regain confidence, tighten up at the back, and create more chances through their wingers and midfield. The recent loss puts some pressure on the team to respond positively in front of their fans. Wolves, meanwhile, are also coming off a 3-1 defeat to Chelsea, a match that highlighted gaps in defence and struggles in converting chances. They will be eager to reset, focus on defensive organisation, and exploit opportunities in transition. Wolves' forwards are capable of scoring, but they will need to be clinical against a Forest side determined to recover. Tactically, Forest will likely try to control possession, press at key moments, and take advantage of Wolves' defensive mistakes, while Wolves will aim to stay compact, counter-attack quickly, and exploit spaces behind Forest's defensive line. With both teams desperate for points, this match could be open and competitive, with chances at either end, but mistakes might decide the outcome. I'm predicting a 2-1 win for Forest. Aston Villa versus Brighton. Aston Villa come into this match after a 1-1 draw with Bournemouth, showing that they are solid defensively, but sometimes struggle to finish their chances. At home, Villa will aim to control possession, build attacks patiently, and create opportunities through their wingers and midfield link-up play. Discipline in midfield and defensive organisation will be key to handling Brighton's attacking threat. Brighton are a team that thrives on quick, high-tempo football, pressing their opponents and moving the ball fast in transitions. Their attacking players are sharp and capable of exploiting gaps in defences. Brighton will look to stretch Villa, press intelligently, and punish any mistakes, making them a very dangerous side even away from home. Tactically, Aston Villa will try to dictate the tempo and use width to break Brighton down, while Brighton will focus on pressing fast combinations and exploiting spaces behind Villa's defence. This matchup is likely to be tight and competitive, with chances at both ends and both teams looking to gain an advantage. So I'm calling this a 1-1 draw. Next up, we have Crystal Palace versus Burnley. Crystal Palace come into this match aiming to capitalise on home advantage. They are dangerous on the counter, can create chances through quick transitions and wide play, and have forwards capable of punishing defensive errors. Their midfield will look to control the tempo and supply the attack efficiently. Burnley, meanwhile, are coming off a 2-0 loss to West Ham, which could affect their confidence. They typically rely on organisation and defensive solidity, but conceding 2 in their last match highlights their vulnerabilities. Burnley will try to stay compact and exploit counter-attacks, but facing a Palace side at home will be a tough challenge. Tactically, Crystal Palace will aim to stretch Burnley with width, create openings through fast combinations, and control key moments of the game, while Burnley will focus on defensive organisation and counter-attacks. Expect a competitive match. I'm predicting a 2-1 win for Crystal Palace. Manchester City versus Fulham. Manchester City. At home, City will aim to dictate tempo, dominate possession, and exploit any gaps in Fulham's defence. Their forwards are clinical, and the midfield is excellent at linking play and breaking down compact setups. Fulham, meanwhile, are coming off a 2-1 defeat to Everton. They typically rely on organisation and counter-attacks, staying compact defensively, and trying to exploit mistakes. Fulham will need to be disciplined and efficient on the break if they hope to get a result. Tactically, City will aim to control the game, create overloads in key areas, and punish defensive lapses, while Fulham will focus on defensive solidity, pressing in bursts, and counter-attacking quickly. Expect a high-tempo, attacking game. I'm going with a 3-2 victory for Man City. Next up, we have Sunderland versus Liverpool. Sunderland come into this match after a 3-0 defeat to Arsenal, showing defensive vulnerabilities and a lack of confidence in attack. At home, they will aim to stay organised, frustrate Liverpool when possible, and try to exploit rare counter-attacking chances, but they will be under pressure from the start. Their recent loss means they will need to show mental resilience to compete effectively. Liverpool, meanwhile, are a team that thrives on high tempo, attacking football, pressing aggressively and creating chances through quick combinations and fluid movement. Their forwards are clinical, and the midfield excels at controlling possession and breaking down compact defences. Even against a Sunderland side defending deep, Liverpool will look to impose themselves from the first whistle. Tactically, Sunderland will likely focus on defensive organisation and counter-attacks, while Liverpool will dominate possession, rotate the ball, and exploit spaces behind the defence. Expect Liverpool to control the game, but Sunderland may still create occasional chances on the break, so I'm expecting an entertaining 2-2 draw. Finally, we have Brentford versus Arsenal. Brentford come into this match after a 3-2 victory against Newcastle, showing that they are capable of scoring goals and handling intense, high-pressure games. At home, they will aim to stay compact defensively, exploit Arsenal on the counter, and use their attacking momentum to create early chances. Brentford's forwards are sharp and confident after their recent win, making them a dangerous opponent. Arsenal, meanwhile, are coming off a 3-0 victory over Sunderland, demonstrating attacking fluidity, clinical finishing, and defensive stability. They play possession-based football with quick combinations, and their forwards and midfielders are highly effective at breaking down defences. Arsenal will look to control the match, dominate possession, and convert any opportunities that arise. Tactically, Brentford will focus on staying organised, pressing selectively, and counter-attacking quickly, while Arsenal will aim to control the ball, create overloads, and exploit spaces in Brentford's defence. I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Arsenal. And there you have it, our full predictions for Match Week 26. Which results do you agree with? Do you think there will be any surprises this weekend? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Premier League content. Goal or no goal 90.